I am absolutely loving this ultrasonic cleaner. I had one of the small, basically for my wife's jewelry. However, firearms parts, getting that residue built off, that carbon residue it's unbelievable. The difference maker, I believe, and I keep it under my like little workshop, little desk here with a vice clamp and all that. Project heating, it just stays under here. I keep cleaner in it. It's lasted. This is going on 3 weeks of use, or 2 weeks of use, I think. And actually, I transferred some over from my old one that didn't have heat. It stays pretty clean. There's a good amount of vibration. So let me just start some of this. This is the heat that you would set. So you would up the temperature. It goes all the way to up to 80, I believe, Celsius, which is 170-ish, 72 heat. And then you can go up to a 30-minute time frame. And when you hit it, if you press it longer, it just jumps up. So 30 minutes. And so it'll start. My first video, I had it running. And you couldn't hear me. So I'm doing this again. It does quite a bit. Just to, oops. However, I'm going to turn it off while I'm talking about the product. And I just keep this elastic band around it so my kid doesn't get into it. It is under my desk. I don't have a sink here, obviously, so it does have, I think it's a 1/4 inch with a ball slip to empty. I will say I emptied it once initially when I filled it up and cleaned a really dirty piece with just water. That little valve or that little cover avoids anything big going down there. However, when you wash it, don't just dump it out. I would rinse some water through it because otherwise dirt will get clogged up in there and whatever you're using. Again, there's your time. There's your heat, which is, again, I think most important. And back here, it does have an on-off switch, which I could probably avoid my kid messing with it and keep it on. But I typically just keep it off. And this is the power cord's easy enough to unplug. So I keep that unplugged too when it's not in use. But overall, really, really cool. Nice basket that you can keep everything hooked up on if you're not using the lid, and easy to grab and get out. 6 liters, I believe, but again, grips here, power back there, grips on both sides. Here's your info. And again, heat in Celsius, no change in Fahrenheit, but again, I just crank it up to the hottest. That's what I think makes the difference between an amateur version of these sonic cleaners and professional. This is absolutely professional. I had a smaller one that didn't heat up, and it absolutely did not do as good of a job on my wife's rings. And the nice thing about it is the mesh is tight enough to probably catch any ring, certainly, and maybe some earrings. You could put a small basket in there, and obviously the ultrasonic waves are going to penetrate. Just a really, really cool product. Very, very happy. Again, it'll take about, call it 11 1/4 inches or 10 1/4 inches, almost 11 3/4 inches on your desk by 7 by just a little over 12. So love it. Absolutely astounded by it.
All right, so I'm going to test out this ultrasonic cleaner. It's heated. I put in 850 milliliters of water and concentrated degreaser, about 8-to-1 ratio, water to cleaner degreaser. And so I'm going to try it on this. It's got some lacquer putty and a lot of overspray of some industrial coatings, and you can see they're on there pretty well. I'm gonna put that in there, and I'll put my watch in there and hope there's not a leak. But there is just gunk overspray. I spray in this watch, so let's see what it does. I don't expect it to just fall off, but it should come off pretty easy. It's just everywhere. There. Any place that doesn't get contact. So I'm gonna put that in there. It was 19 degrees. This is Celsius only, so you got to figure that out. But I put the cleaner in. It was at 19 Celsius. I'm taking it to 40 because that's right around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And it took 11 minutes to take that much liquid to 40 degrees. So not the fastest, just be aware. But anyway, let's put this in. And this I won't be able to put the lid on, and I'm going to let it go just for 5 minutes, film it a little while, and then pause it, and then come back when it's done. Unfortunately, my camera wasn't recording for the end, but 5 minutes was up. I cleaned, I gently rubbed this with a paper towel, and you can see this is what was there. So that came off relatively easy. Same thing on the watch. Took a paper towel to it, and I wish I had a nylon brush, but all the areas that were an issue softened up really nice. And again, this is paint mostly, like those big blobs are gone. So this is paint, so it's not just going to lift off the thing like grease or dirt or whatever. But I'm impressed with how this worked. And I don't know if you heard at the beginning when I hit the start and it was like kinda working, and then all of a sudden started working. So I decided, that didn't sound right. I have other ultrasonic cleaners, so I decided to try it again, and it works fine now. But I would say if you're experiencing that kind of like that kind of wanting to do it, that's not correct. That's how it should work. So if it starts doing that, you've got a bad unit. Hopefully that was the first time, so maybe something was up in there and was keeping it from working properly, the transducer. Seems to be fine now. I'll report back if it gives me any more trouble.